participants joining us from across the world. I am Afeez Aromire, and like she said, I'm the convener of the International Sustainable Fashion Festival and also the program lead at Blackest Africa. It is my honor and privilege to moderate this very important section on digital rights, safety, and literacy, navigating the digital age as global citizens. I want to start this section with a simple observation. Today, many of us spend more time in digital spaces than in physical public spaces. We learn online, we work online, we build businesses online, we advocate online, and in fact, we form communities online. Yet, while technology has expanded opportunities beyond anything previous generations could imagine, it has also introduced new challenges. Misinformation travels faster than facts. This is a very key point. And also cyberbullying affects millions of young people. Personal data has been collected and monetized, and digital surveillance continues to raise concerns globally. And despite rapid technological advancements, millions still lack meaningful digital access. So the question before us is no longer whether technology will shape our future. The real question is, how do we ensure that the future remains safe, inclusive, ethical, and rights respecting for everyone? So this section seeks to answer exactly that. And on behalf of MEF Foundation and everyone who are here today, I warmly welcome you all, and I would want us to begin from here. All right, I will start by introducing our keynote speaker one. To help us set the stage for today's conversation, the first keynote speaker brings us valuable experience from the global internet governance ecosystem. And I would love you to join me in welcoming Mr. Gustavo Ceresa. If Mr. Gustavo is here, please, I want you also to come here with me. I would like to introduce Gustavo to us. Gustavo is a group member of the Internet Society, ISOC Mexico, and has contributed significantly to conversations around internet governance, digital inclusion, and digital rights. Gustavo, the floor is yours. This time, you'll be giving us the first keynote session, just 7 minutes. Thank you very much. Gustavo, you have the floor. Okay. I don't know. I want to confirm if Gustavo is with us now. Okay. So I don't think, okay, let me check. It's currently not here with us. Okay. I also want to confirm. I want to confirm if Gustavo is here with us. If Gustavo is not here, I want to confirm if Valerie is here with us now.
Hi, Afeez. I'm Valerie. Can I present now? I can share my screen. That's okay.
Okay. So everyone, thank you very much, Valerie, for coming online. I sincerely appreciate it. So I would like to move on very quickly into the multi-stakeholder. Since she's here now, so we'll just move on to the next keynotes person. Thank you very much, Valerie, for coming here. So one thing that has become clear from both keynote presentations, I would like to have him here with us today. So Gustavo is not here currently, so I will just move on to the next person. Thank you very much.
Right. Hi, Afeez. Nice to meet you, everybody. I apologize first for the sound, but if you can hear me clearly, can you please react to this video right now? Okay, that's great. Okay, so I'll share the screen. Let's go. Right, so I hope that it's visible right now. So I'll go ahead. Yeah, maybe like that. Okay, so let's begin. So welcome everybody. Thank you for attending my session. We are talking about the digital age. So Afeez has kindly opened very nicely the topic. Basically that in today's day and age, it's just so many problems with the internet, right? There's like AI usage, there's like miscommunication. And today I am presenting on two pieces of work. The first is by the Internet Society, and the second is on Dust Media. So please feel free during the presentation to look these two websites up. So I'm Valerie, and I am a postgraduate scholar at Imperial College and at the Royal College of Art. So now I'm calling in from London, and this is my LinkedIn on the right. Feel free to connect post session, if especially you are interested to fight digital rights inadequacy and inequality. Originally, I'm also from Singapore. So let's begin. So this is the work of Internet Society. We wish to create works which are affordable, reliable, and resilient for an access to the internet throughout the world. So imagine now, in the time of AI, right, the day and age, like there's still people who cannot access it, which is incredible to understand, but it's a reality, as we all know in the group chat. So a little bit about the action plan that we have for this year in 2026. I am particularly interested in online trust and safety. So how do we make sure that the internet is a safe place, right? The UK government, in particular, we just released that for social media, it's not possible to use below the age of 18, that you need to obtain more information. So let me see what's in the chat. I hope that it's working. Right. So that's some more information. It takes precedence. It takes inspiration from Australia before this. So it's hopefully moving in the right direction. And of course, I think Gustavo is also representing ISOC, Mexico. So we'll be interested to hear what he has to say. But for the purpose of the presentation, I'm elected to be the Community Advocacy Fellow of 2026 for the UK. And this is a little bit about the Internet Society. Please go and look up what the initiatives are. And I hope to follow up anybody. If you have LinkedIn, please feel free to follow me. So the second part of my presentation is on my work at Imperial and Royal College of Art. So in particular, I'm addressing the problem that 40% of the people globally, they actively avoid news because it feels overwhelming, repetitive, and emotionally exhausting. And this is up from 29% in 2017, and this is taken from Statista. So yeah, it's a big problem. I don't know, if you wake up and you read the news, there's like so much going on in the world. But there's just so little done to say like, okay, how can we stay invested in the news without actually being overwhelmed? So this is the question that I'm working with. How might we transform continuous global information streams into meaningful media experiences? And to that end, I investigate as a design engineer, tangible alternative to screen-dense digital news interfaces. This is the paper that will be published in due time, but I have presented in Croatia in May 2026 as part of the Design 2026 conference. The title is Material Attunement in Minimal Media, Designing Tactility for Information Engagement. So this was me presenting, and yeah, it's being published right here. So basically what I have investigated in this paper is to try to understand, is there a new kind of news device that we could have that is an alternative to our phone, and that we can just like have a very brief summary of the news, and every time we wake up in the morning, without advertisements, without a lot of distractions from all the other things that's happening on our phone. So this has been presented in Milan Design Week this year. It is a news device, and for the future, it's very possible that we gather more partnerships with local government, with the UN organizations, even like youth mobility groups, to say, for example, if you're fighting for Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, like how can you make your work more visible through like these pocket devices So if anybody is interested to collaborate, please reach out to me on LinkedIn at the same time. So that's a little bit about the work that I'm working on. And this is the website that feel free to check it out, and we will see if you would like to collaborate further. That's a little bit about me. And of course, again, this is my LinkedIn and the topic of session 4. Thank you for inviting me to be the keynote speaker. I'm honored to be here, and I wish that if anybody is working in the same environment, please feel free to reach out. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate you for that wonderful presentation. Like she has been saying, you would know that from what Valerie has said today, you would pick one or two things from there, and this has shown in her being, because Valerie is a scholar. Yes, Valerie is a scholar, and that actually shows in her presentation. So we sincerely appreciate you, Valerie, for that wonderful contribution today. We say thank you very much for joining us today, and your discussion really means a lot to every one of the persons who are present here today. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So I will move on to the next speaker. I don't know if he's currently with us now. Gustavo, are you here now?
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you. I prepared a video for all of you. I don't know if you can please share the video. Well, I will try to share by myself here. Wait a minute, please. Here is it. Okay, I hope all of you see it.
Hello, I am Gustavo Aviña Cerecer, researcher at the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities of the Universidad Autónoma de San Luis Potosí. Today I present my research, Toward a Humanist Artificial Intelligence. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming every dimension of human cognition through scale, speed, and social accessibility. But this acceleration brings two structural challenges. First, AGI monopolies are concentrating unprecedented technological power. Second, algorithmic bias continues to reproduce deep structural inequalities. Our true opportunity is not simply to train users, but to form critical thinkers capable of local governance and ethical development. This research is grounded in a systematic literature review using the PRISMA 2020 methodology, analyzing over 1,200 academic records from 2018 to 2026. After rigorous screening, 89 sources were selected for final analysis, spanning ethics and governance, philosophy of technology, pedagogy, critical thinking, and AI policy. The research answers three key questions. Why do we need to program a humanist AI? Because technology must serve human well-being, prioritizing ethics, equity, and dignity over efficiency. What must it contain? Values, transparency, accountability, and a human-centered approach at every stage. And how do we build and regulate it? Through frontier programming, ethical education, robust regulatory frameworks, and active citizen participation in its governance. Our central hypothesis is this: a humanist AI integrates three inseparable dimensions. First, ethics, grounded in human dignity, algorithmic justice, transparency, accountability, and informational privacy. These are not opinions. They are the legal and ethical foundation of the system. Second, critical pedagogy, going beyond mere usage to develop true AI literacy, critical thinking against algorithmic bias, autonomous digital citizenship, and metacognition. The key is not to use AI, it is to know when and how to question it. Third, governments and institutions. Through adaptive regulatory frameworks like the EU AI Act, multi-stakeholder governance involving government, industry, academia, and citizens, and technical standards with ethical orientation, such as model cards and independent audits. Because principles without institutions to enforce them are merely declaration. These three lines, ethics, pedagogy, and governance, are not separate fields. They connect into one integrated vision: cognitive freedom, sovereign governance, and programming power. Together, they define what a truly humanist AI must be.
Thank you very much. For any contact or collaboration, please reach me at gac@uaslp.mx. Together, we can build the AI that humanity deserves.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you you find useful, and I'll be glad to receive all your questions or comments. Thank you. I'll be glad to receive all your questions or comments. Thank you
very much. Thank you very much, Gustavo. That was a very brilliant presentation. We sincerely appreciate you. So within 7 minutes, I would like to take questions from our amazing participants and global leaders. Thank you very much, Gustavo. That was so succinct and highly informative and very, very interactive. Thank you very much, Gustavo. We sincerely appreciate you. So I would like to take a few questions from the participants today. So if you have questions within the next 7 minutes, we'll be taking questions so that we'll have to do this on time before we switch into the next section, which is our panel section. Thank you very much, everybody, for being on. Also, if you have any questions, please, I would like you to drop in your questions and I will take it to Gustavo to actually take your questions. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm checking the questions now. Okay, he has already dropped his email. Tinuadeniyi, he dropped his email already. Thank you very much, Gustavo, for that. So since we don't have any questions, I would like to appreciate our theme speakers for this amazing time and section. We sincerely appreciate you. It has been a wonderful time with you all, and for everyone who have not been here, it has been a great ride with the MEI Foundation, the amazing speakers that we've been having, from Teresa to Gustavo. Thank you very much. And also to Valerie, who has tried as much as possible to dissect the world we have today, because now in this current world that we currently find ourselves, there is nothing we want to do with the digital world, because it is what we live in, and we don't have the honor to actually move on with that. So thank you very much for that. We sincerely appreciate. So we'll now move on to the next section, which is the panel section. I'm very sure all our panelists are here with me currently. So I would like to be inviting our panelists that will be joining us for today. So I would like to introduce them to us. First, our first panelist is Lara Roland. I hope Lara Roland is okay. Lara is here with me today. Thank you very much. Lara Roland is the founder of Women Against Violence and Expediency and Initiative in Nigeria. Also, we have with us Mrs. Roslyn Ajayi, the Digital and Communications Manager at the African Technology and Innovations Institute, Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And also, we are also joined by Joy Inwaru, the Community Manager at 3MTT Nigeria. And finally, Rojas Acharu, the founder of Evocore Solutions Nigeria. I want to say welcome to all our panelists. So if you are with me today, so I want to see a virtual clap to welcome all our panelists, a virtual clap to welcome all our panelists to this amazing section. So in the next 20 minutes, I will take us on a ride to have our panelists on these notes. Thank you very much, everyone. I can say we are here with me. All right, so the first questions I'll be dropping tonight would be for Joy Inwaru of 3MTT. Joy, how are you? So you work closely with thousands of young people building as this question. What does it mean to be a truly digital literate global citizen in 2026? And how far are we from making that a universal reality? Joy, you have the floor.
Okay, hi, good evening. Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, sure, I can. Can go ahead. I can
Okay.
hear you clearly.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Really excited to be here. It's an honor, and really good to be speaking to everyone here. It's evening on my end, so good evening, and hope it's really been an enlightening session so far. Now to the question, what does it mean to be a truly digitally literate citizen in 2026? That's an interesting question. And I would say that, and especially from my experience, managing programs and currently the 3 Million Technical Talents Program by the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy in Nigeria. So digital literacy in 2026 pretty much goes far beyond just knowing how to use a smartphone or a computer or navigating social media, right? It means understanding what you see, for example, algorithms, what you see and why, knowing your rights when, for example, a platform deletes your content, harvests your data, being able to identify, say like a manipulated image, misinformation online, participating actively in, digital spaces without surrendering your safety or your identity, right? And from where I sit, working across multiple communities, both in Nigeria and in the diaspora, that gap is still enormous, right? There's still that gap when it comes to digital literacy. And we have young people who are, let's say, technically proficient, who are pretty much active on multiple digital spaces, multiple platforms. They're building businesses and all whatnot online, but you still see people who have never, how do I put this now? Who have never been told, for example, they have rights to their data portability, or that they can file a complaint when like a platform discriminates against them. So all of these things, they are all encompassing under digital literacy. So proficiency of a platform, of digital platforms, may not necessarily be literacy. So the honest answer to how far we are is that we're still pretty much at the beginning, right? Even in managed, well-resourced communities, critical digital literacy is not exactly standard in various like maybe curriculums like digital training programs that we have there, and especially in underserved communities, we're still pretty much fighting for basic connectivity, basic issues related to the digital space. And so we can't have so much of a serious conversation about digital literacy when for example, data connectivity is still a problem. So yeah, all of these things put together are what would quantify to being a person or a citizen being digitally literate, and that's where we are today.
All right, Joy, that's a very great submission. Also, because of time, I would like to make sure when it comes to the gap that as a measure, because a lot of us want to be in here, but there is still information gap. Some of us have accessibility gap, like what you say. Thank you very much, Joy, for that wonderful contribution. I appreciate you. So I would like to move on to the next question, and this question will be for Mrs. Roslyn Ajayi. Roslyn, your work sits at the juncture of technology, communication, and digital engagement. And also, the digital literacy gap remains one of the biggest barriers to inclusion. One of the biggest barriers to inclusion. So, how do we equip young people in underserved and low connectivity communities with the knowledge and digital safety tools they need when access itself remains inconsistent? So I don't know if Roslyn got that question clearly, or I need to take it again.
Sorry, can you come again, please? Can you come again? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, please, your question again, please.
Okay, so the question is, how do we equip young people in underserved and low connectivity communities with the knowledge and digital safety tools they need when access itself remains inconsistent?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Afeez, for that question. I would love to start with a statement that has been that had remained with me for years, that talent is universal, opportunity is not. And nowhere is them more visible than in our digital world of today. When we talk about the future of technology, artificial intelligence, innovation, and digital transformation, we often imagine young people who are already connected, right? Young people with reliable internet, young people with laptops, young people with access to digital tools on learning platforms, but there is another reality. There are millions of young people all around the world, actually, whose potential is not limited by intelligence, creativity, or ambition. It is very limited by access. And I think that distinction matters because sometimes we mistakenly assume that people are behind because they lack ability. I know that it's very rampant amongst us, but in many cases, they're behind because opportunity has not reached them yet. So has someone from Nigeria, where I am, who has spent years working with and speaking to young people, I have seen this reality firsthand. I have met brilliant people, young people with extraordinary ideas, young people who could build solutions, create businesses, contribute to innovations that even compete on a global stage, right? Yet some are navigating unstable internet connections. Some are managing expensive data costs, devices with family members. Some are sharing that. Some are learning digital skills entirely through determination and self-teaching. And despite all these challenges, they continue to show up. Please, are you following? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Yes, we can. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So, yes, you are clear. Loud and clear.
Yeah. That is resilience, right? But resilience should not actually become a requirement for access.
Young people should not have to overcome 10 barriers just to access opportunities that others receive by default, right? And that is why I believe we must rethink how we approach digital inclusion, because digital inclusion is not simply about connecting people to the internet. It is about preparing them to strive once they get there. Sometimes we celebrate access so much that we forget safety. A young person finally gets connected, right? They create social media accounts, right? They begin exploring digital spaces, but nobody teaches them how to identify misinformation. You know, there is a difference between misinformation and there's another word similar to misinformation. Anyway, I know you get what I mean. So nobody teaches them how to recognize scams. Nobody teaches them how to protect their privacy. Nobody teaches them about cyber bullying. Nobody teaches them about digital rights. And so we hand them the keys to a powerful digital world without teaching them how to navigate it safely. So imagine teaching someone how to drive, but never teaching them road signs. Just imagine. That would be dangerous. Yet that is exactly what happens in many digital environments today. So what do? We believe that the solution begins with three things: access, education, and community. So first, access. Let me elaborate. Governments, private sectors, organizations, and development partners must continue investing in affordable internet, digital infrastructure, and connectivity, because digital participation should not depend on your postcode. Yes, a young person in a rural community deserves the same opportunity to learn, innovate, and contribute as a young person in a major city. Secondly, education. Digital literacy and digital safety must become fundamental skills, foundational skills, like the basics, not optional skills. We teach young people how to read, how to write, because we know that they need these skills to function in the society, right? But today, digital literacy deserves the same level of importance. Young people need to know how to evaluate information, protect their identities, understand digital rights, and engage responsibly online. So the third one, community. Technology can provide information, but people provide guidance. And that is where mentorship becomes powerful. Many of the opportunities I have received in life came because someone shared knowledge with me. Someone opened the door. Someone offered guidance. Someone believed in me because before I fully believed in myself. So the same principle applies in the digital age. Young people need communities that support their growth, communities that help them make sense of information, communities that help them navigate challenges, communities that remind them that they belong, because ultimately this conversation is not about devices alone. It is not about algorithm. It's not about connectivity alone. It is about people. If you look at it deeply, it is about ensuring that where a young person is born does not determine how far they can go. It is about ensuring that digital opportunities are not reserved for the privileged few. It is about creating a future where every young person, regardless of geography, income, gender, or background, has the opportunity to participate safely and meaningfully in the digital world. And that is why I remain hopeful, because every time I meet a young person who is creating solutions despite challenges, learning despite limitations, and dreaming despite barriers, I am reminded that the future is really incredibly bright. So our responsibility is simply to ensure that opportunity catches up with talent. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I was about to say thank you very much, Roslyn. Because of time, we need to be very quick, because in the next 10 minutes, we'll be rounding up this section. All right, thank you very much, Roslyn. I actually like your presentation and how you structured that, because it was not just theoretical. This is coming from an angle of things we see in our communities every day, and this is the basis of what we need to hear, not just frameworks or theories, but things that are practically sound, that directly affects the people around us. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. So I'll just move on quickly to the next panelist to answer this question. And this question goes to Lara Roland. Lara, your work focuses on protecting vulnerable population, particularly women and girls. Online harassment and digital violence continue to grow globally. So this is a question. How can young people effectively protect their rights in an environment where surveillance, cyberbullying, harassment, and censorship have become normalized?
All right, thank you so much, Afeez. Yes, for us as a Women Against Violence and Experience Handling Initiative, we work with young girls and we work with young women and vulnerable women and young girls in vulnerable situations. So first and foremost, we try to train them on digital tools and on cyber security and how to protect themselves online. And we usually emphasize that you need to put on some you need to protect yourself online, and which is very important. And we try to emphasize that the core pillars of digital empowerment is navigation of digital space, which relies on basically three things. We educate them on digital rights and your rights online, because this is the extension of fundamental human rights into cyberspace. You have human rights even within the cyberspace. You need to protect yourself. And it includes the right to privacy, freedom of expression, access to information, and protection from online harassment or algorithm and discrimination. For example, in Nigeria, digital rights are increasingly linked to data protection regulations and the need for legal frameworks that protect vulnerable groups. So we always tell them you need to protect yourself online, and you need to exercise your human right as well. If you don't want any untoward intrusion to your cyberspace, you need to block that person or report to the appropriate authorities. We also train these young people on digital literacy. We're moving beyond basic usage. Literacy involves the capacity to find, evaluate, synthesize, and create information. It emphasizes critical reasoning, the ability to distinguish between credible sources and misinformation and fake news. So we always tell them that on the internet, you can there are a lot of information on the internet. We have misinformation, disinformation, and we have the right information. So you should be able to navigate and know the ones that are appropriate and the ones that are right, the real news and the fake news. You should be able to distinguish between them. We train them on some of these things in our digital literacy curriculum. We also emphasize the digital safety, which is the practical application of security measures to protect oneself and one's community. This spans from technical practices, strong passwords. We teach them multi-factor password, 2FA, to behavioral choices, managing privacy settings, understanding data footprints. So we train these young girls and young women on some of these issues. And then we also emphasize and encourage them to advocate for ensuring that advocacy, we also do advocacy, which is we ensure that advocacy initiatives specifically target underserved regions and groups such as women and out-of-school youth to prevent the digital divide from widening. So we train, and then we train the trainers, and then we train these girls to even go out and train others. So specifically, that's what we do on in our space. Thank you.
A brilliant one from you, Roland. I sincerely appreciate you, and checking what you just now. It is very important that we understand the information that comes across. People want to know quite well what cyberbullying is and harassment, because a lot of people are exposed, and a lot of people, most especially young people, and now they stay unprotected because of lack of information, and also because censorship has become normalized. Thank you very much for the great work you are doing with your foundation. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate it. So the next question I will be asking now goes to Rojas Acharo. So Rojas, as a technology entrepreneur and founder, I would like to bring you into the conversation around responsibility because of time. So I would like to ask this. What responsibility do social media platforms and technology, what responsibility do social media platforms and technology companies bear in combating misinformation, protecting user data, and ensuring digital safety? Are they currently doing enough? So that's the question, Rogers.
All right, Afeez, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. Now to the question. I think social media companies and platforms, they need to understand that there's now a
Okay, I think we can't hear you again from my hand. I can't hear you again from my hand, yeah? Rogers, are you still up? I want to confirm if Rogers is still up with us here. I can't see anything from my end again. Okay, he's joining back. I think it's network. So Rogers, okay, Rogers has joined us again. So Rogers, you can continue, please. Okay, I think Rogers is currently dealing with his network, and maybe when he joins us before the time elapses, because in the next 5 to 6 minutes we should be done, because we still have questions that will be asked from the people who are here because of time. So please, if you have questions, please try as much as possible to be dropping them, so that immediately we are done with this section, I will just take the questions and move because of time. And
Line is breaking.
section.
Hi, Afeez, you're breaking.
So please, can you still hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
All
Yes, we
right,
can.
all right. So because Rogers is not here with us, I would like to just move on to the question and answer segment. So when Rogers joins us, because we don't have much time, and so that we could move on, because we also have other sections that are still coming up. So all right, so if we have any questions, please, from our global change makers, if you have any question, I would like you to put it in the chat box so that I'll be able to pick it up. In the next, okay, you can't hear me. What about now? I think people are saying they can't hear me in the comments tab.
I can hear you.
Please, can anyone?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, all right. So let's move on. So if you have any questions, if we don't have any questions, so that's how we will be able to move on to the next next thoughts. All right, so I can't see any question here, but then if you have no questions, in the next 2 minutes, I would like all our panelists who have spoken, from Lara to Rosaline and to Joy, I would like to ask one more. Okay, one person have a question here. So he said, I have a question for Rosaline. So please, Rosaline, when you're answering this question, I know time may not permit us, I would like us to answer this question within a few seconds so that we'll be able to move on, maybe at most 40 seconds, please. I have a question for Roslyn. Is there any initiative or solution that the Institute is working on to bridge the access gap? Roslyn, this question is for you if you can hear me clearly. Roslyn, are you there?
Yeah, please come again. Come again.
Okay, so this person is asking, he said, I have a question, and this question is for Roslyn. Is there any initiative or solution that the Institute is working on to bridge the access gap? You know, we were talking about access at the time. So yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Precious Stephen. Even right? Yes. Thank you for the question. So at ATII work, African Technology and Innovation Institute, we contribute to bridging the access gap by promoting digital awareness, innovation, technology, education, and youth capacity development. So we create platforms that exposes young people to opportunities, knowledge, and emerging technologies, while no single organization can solve the access challenge alone. So we believe in collaboration across government, private sectors, and innovation ecosystems. It has the key to ensuring more young people can participate meaningfully in digital economy. So you can check out ATII. I could send you the link on the chat and look through what we do. Thank you very much. I hope I have answered your question. I'll be sending the link.
Thank you very much for that wonderful and brilliant for the link. So please, all our panelists, please, you can try to send us your account so that people can connect with you, can reach out to you. So in just 1 minute, I would like to, I don't know how we are going to do this, but within 1 minute or 2 minutes, I would like to ask a closing question because this is going to be the end of section 4. I would like to ask a closing question from all our panelists, and the question says that what is what is one thing every young person should do today to improve their digital safety? Just from starts from I'm going to be starting from you, Rogers. Rogers is not here, but to Joy, Roslyn, and Lara. So Joy, Roslyn, and Lara, in just one sentence, what is one thing every young person should do today to improve their digital safety? So Joy goes first in just one sentence. Go and then to Roslyn, then to Lara, please. Thank you. Okay, did you get the question?
Yeah, I did get it. One thing everyone should do to improve their digital safety, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I would say that I think we just need to be more cautious online. There's a lot going on online that, we as individuals need to pay attention to, as little as the kind of passwords that we use, our passwords manager, reusing passwords, data breaches, having our, platforms that we use get compromised, like your emails, your bank apps, social media, all of that. Also things that we use like VPNs, two-factor authentication, all of that. It's really important that we pay attention to things like that. Sometimes most of us just come up with passwords that we reuse across different apps. So yeah, I think the most important thing take home would be like pay more attention to things that we do and how we operate online or digitally.
Okay, I know we have, all our panelists are, they are full of knowledge and they are speaking from a space of deep knowledge. So if I give them the time, we'll have all the day. So I will have the next person to also answer the question and I asked from Joy. So Lara, it's your turn. In just one sentence, please.
I'll say we should use strong passwords, like Joy mentioned, multi-factor authentication. We also need to put in some cybersecurity measures as well. We need to try to protect ourselves against phishing and all those other things. So we need to also learn how to block and unblock. And we also need to be very careful on about what we share on the internet space, because some of us, we share private information, where we live, our phone number, addresses, and personal information like that. So we need to be careful with what we share online, even with personal photos, and we need to really make sure we are safe online. That's just it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that beautiful contribution. I sincerely appreciate it. So, running things up in just one sentence. I said one sentence. In just one sentence, I would like the last panelist.
Okay, I don't agree less so to what Lara and Joy is saying, but in one sentence, just as you said, I would say alertness, awareness, alertness. So I go with alertness. Hello?
Much,
Hello?
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, our amazing panelists. Thank you very much, our amazing speakers. I don't know if you can hear me. So if you can hear me clearly, I want you to type in the chat box. I want you to type in the chat box all our global change makers who have been joining us from the start of this meeting to this moment. If you have been able to learn one or two things today, type in the comment section, I am learning. I want to type in the chat box. I want to see, let me check myself. Type, I am learning. I am learning. I am learning. I want to see if people are still with us. I am learning.